Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you all again. The project for January is buildings and urban scenes. So probably the next couple of weeks I'll just do drawing demos, but you're welcome to paint or do whatever you like to do. And I thought I'd start off fairly simply and just a little bit of perspective drawing on buildings. And then next week I'll do a little bit on street scenes. So just using pencil today. Now there's a choice. I can either, so these are the demos I've done in the week. That was from that one, that was from that one. And I was wondering about that one, but I could repeat one of these if you prefer. Any preference?
Makes no difference.
No? Okay. I'll go with this one then, just for
Sorry.
change.
No, I was just saying that one's all different angles, so in different directions. So that
That'd
might be a
be
good,
Yeah,
a
that'd be
good
more
one.
interesting. Yeah, yeah. And also I was just sort of talking to Jan a minute ago, I thought that would be
Yeah, because I'm dreadful with perspective.
Oh, yeah.
well,
No,
next week
I
I'll do
had
the full
rivers running
street scene.
uphill.
This might be useful for something. Right, so that was the whole picture. This was, when I had a teaching bit in Portugal a couple of years ago, and this was a scene from somewhere we went. It's just really a nice little scene. But the bit I draw is just really this little bit on the end. I know it's a little bit of a small image, unfortunately. So I thought I'd concentrate on that bit and then start to come out here a little bit. So with perspective, the basic idea is that whatever's closer to you will be bigger or longer. And then whatever's further away will appear smaller or shorter. So if we're looking at this bit to start with, this edge here, or this corner, was closer to me than that corner. So that bit appears longer. So I'm trying to do it in that sense. So I'm thinking, if I want to draw that section, perhaps I'll start with that corner. You could also start with that corner. And to be honest, if I was standing there drawing that, I probably would start here and work my way back. But just from a demonstration point of view, I think maybe that's quite a good place to start. What you find is, so because that's closer and that's further away, it means that to join this to this, obviously these bits need to be angled in some way. Now we know that in buildings, if we're in a building, the floors are horizontal, pretty much always the floors are horizontal, the ceilings are horizontal, the roofs are horizontal, the windows are all horizontal. And when we're drawing, we really battle with what we know compared to what the information that's coming into our eyes. So what our eyes are telling us. So that's the sort of dilemma, or that's the thing we have to overcome. But to get from here to here, obviously we've got to have some angles. So where I was standing, I would have been standing probably about, my head would probably come to about this sort of level. I was standing sort of over here, looking up at this little corner. Now what you'll find is that's roughly where I was. Below that level, you'll find that you're getting a bit of an angle here. So I could pop that in. Well, let's put my level in. I'm thinking on about here, a bit of a wobbly line. Above that eye level, certainly up here, you can see there's quite a pronounced angle. So bring that over. And if you're drawing, it probably does help to have your picture on the same plane as what you're drawing. So if you've got your board on your lap, maybe have your picture there and your drawing here, or if it's on an easel, have it side by side if you can. So it means that I can kind of line that angle up and then just try and bring that over. That's something like that. And then looking at how wide that is to how deep, I'm just going to guess it's about like that. Now coming down a little bit, what you'll find is, as you come down, these angles will reduce and reduce and reduce until you get to this point where they're horizontal. So above the eye level, the first window perhaps be that angle, and then the top of the window that angle, and then going to the next one, going up a bit, and then up a little bit further. So you find that these will all fan out, and if you carried these on, these should converge somewhere over here. These should all sort of converge on this level here, this eye level, and you get what they call a vanishing point. Yeah. So it'll be a little bit easier to draw when I start to draw that side. So that'd be the windows. Perhaps I'm drawing these a bit big, but that'd be the windows here. That's all coming down to there, down to the eye level. Then below the eye level, we're going the other way, so that this almost like a tide line here, or mud line, again, that will go up that way. So, all so far, do you all know that already?
So the eye level is really important for
Yeah.
those pictures being taken.
Yeah, it is,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and you can work it out. On most photographs, you can work out where the eye level is. Sometimes there'll be like, you might have like a course of bricks going like that, that's just a horizontal line. On this one, obviously there isn't. But if there isn't, you know that if that's going up that way and that's going down that way, it's going to be somewhere in between. Yeah, so that'll give you that. So that's that bit. You can quickly sort of finish that bit off. That comes down to that, like a guttering level. This bit on the top, right, actually that's going the other way, isn't it? So, okay, so to find that point, I think I've just got to see where that lines up. So if I carried that edge on up there, this little ridge here, now this bit is going the other way.
Going down again. Isn't
Yeah, that's going down that way. So that's because this is like one face we're looking at, and then if you could see the other side of that bit is on that side. Yeah. So you have that going down that way to another vanishing point over here. But you'll find it's still a fairly steep angle because that will be going to coming down to here. And then these bits, look at the angle. Yeah, that's going up that way. So actually I need that bit over there. That's the wrong place. That goes something like that, and then this should then just come down to here, like that. And then I can just finish, just judge the angle, something like that. So that's all on that bit. Now this bit here, and you can see this is like a, I'll just draw over the picture so you can see a little bit more clearly. So this part of that's sort of going around the corner. Okay, so this is what I was talking about a minute ago. Sometimes, so you find that if you do all the buildings, as long as they're all horizontal, all on the same, they're not like sinking, all the vanishing points should go to the same place. If they're sinking, they won't. You'll have different ones. But because these are both horizontal buildings, this one's at a different angle, you'll find that the vanishing points will be on this eye level still, but they might be, like this one will converge over here somewhere, and this one will converge over here somewhere. But this one is going to be probably within the picture. If I carried that line on, and I carried this line on, that's not converging where it should be. Okay, maybe I got that. Well, I'm going to go with this and this then. I think it will be over there, so perhaps it will be something like that. And then all these bits here, they should come down to there. So there's a couple of windows there which are difficult to see. So at that point, I'm putting over here, and then if I join that up to here, that should give me this edge here, and inside of it, that will come over a little bit, that one. And that's coming down to there, and then coming out this way, something like that. I'm going to just make that to about there. And then the windows, that can be the tops of the windows. I'm going to look at roughly where the window sills are in relation to this window, and they're slightly above. So I'll make that my point for there. So I'll have basically one window there, one window there. Those will be on that sort of angle, and then the next lot of windows. That one is actually for coming down to here somewhere. So the bottom of that would be there. The top of that is about halfway through this one. It's about there it starts. So that can be there. These can all line up. So that should. No, sorry, I've done that one wrong. That's got to come down to there, isn't it? Yeah, that will be higher than that one. Yeah, so that's how that works out. Does that make sense? Or not? It does it. It kind of is. It kind of is. Yeah, go on. So that
There's
bit.
a gap there.
No, it's all right. There's a gap. So this bit, if I carry that on, that is going to go that way. And then you've got another window here. So if I carry that
I
along,
see.
that's sort of going around the corner then. That will get that top bit of window in there. And then there's another building sort of in front of it there. Yeah, I probably could have done the bigger picture. You can see that. But that's basically what's going on. And then there's another roof line kind of coming up here.
Is that what they used to call technical drawing?
No, not really. It's observational drawing. It's useful. Like if you're drawing buildings, it's just useful to understand this because I mean, when you're actually drawing, you're not going to be constructing these sort of lines because most of them come outside. Like this one does, it comes way off the page. But if you've got an understanding, I'll just do another quick sketch on that. Just almost like a diagram. And I use a simpler building. Just use this one. So this is, yeah, it's sort of simple looking cottage. So that's my grandma's cottage. But it does fit a sort of simple style. So basically, just want to get the vanishing points with on the paper. That's what I'm aiming at. So that could be one. We'll have the other one over here. So that can be eye level. So, you know, if you know that the two vanishing points are going to be on eye level, that's the important thing to know. And that everything should then come to those. So the bottoms of the windows, and I think eye level is about there. So we've got that about there. So you could have one set of windows there, over there. That's going to be horizontal. And then going upstairs, three here. These will all come back to here. The next ones. That's your sort of windows there. Yeah. So that's the basic idea. That's the simple idea. This little ridge here, so the roof will also come to the same vanishing point. Let's make that slightly steeper. So that's the guttering level to there. That can be the roof line. To get the pointy bit here, got to be called that. The easiest way is to draw like corner to corner, and then take that line up, just vertical. So it's a bit technical drawing.
Oh wow.
And then you should be able to join that to that. And that should look right.
Yes.
Because what you'll find is we're a lot closer to this edge, so that is actually the midpoint in perspective. But if I just measured that distance from there to there and divided that in half, it'd be about there. You know, physically measured that. That's about equal distance. Now, if I took that there, that would be too far this way.
So I can't use my ruler then.
Well, you can. Well, you can. You can do that with your ruler. And then you can do that.
Yeah.
What were you saying there? Sorry, you put the middle point of right and left.
It's like the middling perspective is just find it.
Oh,
Right.
so it's not actually in the middle that way, it's in the middle, however, when you
Yeah,
go
in
down.
perspective it's in the middle. The distance, say the middle between those 2 points
Yeah.
is going to be about
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
which is going to be further over.
Yeah, got
So
you.
if you just measure that and then do that, that's not going to look right.
Yeah.
Well, that brings that. So that's the roof line. So that angle is like that. This one you'll find is just very slightly shallower. So there is a way you could construct. You could basically construct that inside here if you wanted, but it's complicated. So you should just take that angle and just bring it back a bit.
Go on.
So we construct it. You bring all those over, and then you do some back here, and then you'd have a little imaginary bit there, and that would that one's up. But that's how you could do it if you wanted to.
Amazing, just those few lines would make it look like that house.
In fact, sometimes it's quite nice to just make a little diagram of an imaginary house with 2 vanishing points, just to kind of establish it in your mind how it works.
Can you just do
If you're
that
not
last
sure.
bit again?
Sorry?
Are we allowed the last bit that you did there when you went on that would be that?
Well, this bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going from here to that point,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and from here to that point,
Okay.
and then to get the other side, how do I do it? Let's see. I will go to that point, yeah, from here, I think, to that point, and then here to that point.
That would give you
And that gives me the imaginary back wall. If I can see through the building,
Wow.
and then you then do the cross, and that should take you up to there. So that's how you find it.
Oh, okay.
Is your eye level how tall you would be against the house?
It's literally how tall you are. Yeah, wherever you.
Nothing at the top of the
So that's my car. We've just still got the same car. I mean, I'm literally. I would say that when I looked at this photo the other day, I realised it's wonky. Like the photo, I need to straighten it up on the computer because that bit should be horizontal, but it's actually going upwards a little bit, which it shouldn't be. And then I look at that wall, that edge there, and that's leaning backwards. So it just wants straightening up on the computer. That's the photo's a bit out.
No, it's just the
It
house
needs
is
to be
falling
more.
apart.
No, the house was horizontal. Was when I last saw it.
So how do you establish your eye level? I don't get that.
Okay, so what you do in a photo, let's take it out of plastic, just so you can see it a bit better. If there's something that's, so it should be about that angle really. So that's going that way, yeah. The top of the wall, the bottom of the wall is that angle. Bottom of the windows for that angle. When I get to about there, it becomes horizontal. So anything that reads horizontal on a picture, whether it's a photograph or a painting, that would be the eye level of the painter, the eye level of the photographer. Yeah. And then going up, it starts to get a bit of an angle, and get more of an angle, steeper angle, and they just get steeper. So the further up, the top of the chimney chimney will be that sort of angle. And it helps, when you're drawing, it helps to actually put your pencil on these. Because quite often I'll find, and I found this on Tuesday, students were still drawing this, maybe a little bit of an angle, a bit like that for the cottage. When in actual fact, they're quite steep angles. I was fairly close to the cottage when I took that picture. So the angles are quite steep. If you're further away, the angles will be shallower. But closer in, you'll get a really steep angle.
So it's finding a horizontal point of
Yeah.
the building first.
It's finding the
as your
horizontal,
eye
yeah.
line.
I mean, you can, if you're standing drawing from life, you can almost like sort of do that, see what
Yeah.
blocks out.
Makes sense now,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the gist of it. And then chimney, like that. Top of the chimney go down there. This bit is going back to that one. That one there. Sorry, probably should have drawn it in a couple of colours to distinguish one bit from another. That's a nice bit of theory. And yeah, it's quite a nice exercise just to establish it in your mind. So when you go out drawing, you'll be expecting all these angles to go up this way. And on this side, you'll be expecting to go that way. And I like to think of it as a fan. You know, imagine like the blades on a fan, you know, an extendable fan. It's a bit like that. Each one will be a slightly different angle on the drawing. So if you find you're drawing, you've got a drawing that starts like that, then you're going like that, and then you're going like that, you know you'll pick it out really. They all need to be slightly different. So having that expectation in mind when you're looking at pictures, when you're going out drawing, that will help. You know, it's like having a bit of theory.
Is this your engineering knowledge?
I think it probably helps. 'Cause I'm very analytical.
Because it feels
Yeah.
sort of like, you know, a bit of a, not an architectural drawing in the sense that it still feels still live doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do anything like this in engineering. It's different sort of style of drawing you're doing it. But it probably helps me that I'm quite analytical in that way. But I can just see it. I just see it, and you know, I'll sight angles like that. I'll just look at the angles, and you just get a feel for it. Once you know it, you get a feel for it.
I really like that look at all those lines that are all working out.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite nice to do one of those sort of slightly diagrammatic or an imaginary building. Just do that as an imaginary building. It doesn't have to be a particular photo. Just construct an imaginary building between 2 points.
And the vanishing point is always at your eye.
It's always at your own level. And as I say, sometimes you'll have multiple vanishing points that will be on, like that one. There's a vanishing point here and a vanishing point here, one over here, but they'll all be on the same level. The level will always be the same.
And then you've really got to get that horizontal bit first.
Yeah, you just got to work out where you are, yeah, or where the photographer was at this photo, where the painter was in the painting. So,
Does it exist in multiple places, the horizontal line, or is it always way too precise in one place?
it's always good. It's only going to be in one place. That eye level, you can only have one eye level.
Going like that is when I I just don't know how easy that is.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, if you're not quite sure, just maybe do like this one, the diagram one,
Yeah,
the imaginary building one.
I'll probably do that one.
Where's the
Yep.
vanishing point?
All good?
Right.
Yep. Right.